Alright guys, welcome to the first WCW Nitro. We are here in May 2001. We're at MGM Studios, also known as Hollywood Studios and Disney World, Orlando, Florida. Um, we are here in the first Nitro after the Big Bang pay-per-view. As you saw, we did go over that. Um, and we are here. There's so much going on. We have tournaments galore going on for stuff, so let's just go right into some stuff. We got some pre-show matches that I want to talk about. So, our first match is a Battle Royal. This is just to feature a bunch of guys who are not on the show at this point. They will have spots, they're just not on this show in particular. So, in addition, pre-show match, Rhino wins a Battle Royal in 9:42. 59 rating, solid. This is just to get guys, everybody seen by the crowd and get used to the characters and just see them in light. A couple notable names: Lance Storm, AJ Styles, Daniels, Alex Wright, Conan. Some guys in there that you'll recognize. No one that's really jumping out the page at the moment because they're obviously all in tournaments, and we'll get over that. We'll talk about that real quick. So we open the show with the recap of the main event of Big Bang, where we saw Scott Steiner defeat everybody and become the first WCW champion of the new regime. So Scott Steiner is our guy right now. He is our top guy. He's our main event. He is our WCW champion. That got us a 67 rating. And we open the show with Scott Steiner coming down to the ring. We got Scott Steiner here. He's holding the WCW, the big gold belt. And he is talking about how Big Papa Pump, is the best wrestler in the world today. That's why he has the big gold belt. He's going to carry WCW. And whether you like it or not, he is the genetic freak. He is Big Papa Pump. He is the guy. He's the franchise of WCW. That gets us a 74 rating. So Scott Steiner did some good work there. Luckily, he didn't do any math. Did a masterful job of improvising with the crowd, so he did great. So storyline 4 did advance. We're not going to give you what the names of the storylines are. You're just going to have to kind of roll with it. Give you some surprise as well. So Scott Steiner gets interrupted by Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash comes down to the ring. He's like, Scott, you and I go back. NWO, Wolfpack. You know, and I know, that we are both top dogs here in WCW. But the difference is, Scott, you have to go around and tell everybody. I don't. I just show up. And I want that big gold belt back. I want to be the guy that carries WCW. And as soon as Nash says that, Eric Bischoff's music hits. And he books the main event tonight for first WCW Nitro, which is kind of poetry that he's booking this match. Kevin Nash versus Lex Luger is the main event. Lex Luger, member who showed up on the first WCW Nitro in 1995, is in the main event here tonight against Kevin Nash. Everybody came across well. Bischoff didn't do great without a script, but that's okay. We got 65 rating there. I'll take that as an opening segment. All right, so Cruiserweight title and United States Championship are both in 16-person tournaments. So we're going to start right now. This is the first round of the Cruiserweight title tournament. So in a bout that didn't have much heat and terrible wrestling, Billy Kidman defeats Jimmy Yang in 7:19 with a shooting star press. So Billy Kidman pulls on the victory here. He advances to the Elite 8 of the Cruiserweight title tournament. They only got us a 43 here. I was kind of hoping for some more rating, but that's okay. Cruiserweight division is going to be a big point in this save, and a big point to me for this WCW, because I think that's where a lot of the talent that could have been used better is in this save. Billy Kidman got a 49, Jimmy Yang a 34. Jimmy Yang's like 20 in this, so a lot of growth there. He might be stuck in my Cruiserweight division for a little bit, but I'll find some stuff for him too. Kidman does get the win, like I said, so he advances to the next round. Backstage, as Kidman gets the victory, we cut to the backstage and see Chavo Guerrero watching the match on the monitor, shaking his head in disgust. We don't really get him words from him. He just shakes his head in disgust. as we cut to commercial. Only a 39 rating there. So we're trying to get something with the cruiserweights. We're not just letting them wrestle. We want some story arc to these things. All right, so the United States Championship in the first round, in a decent match, Mike Awesome defeats Dustin Rhodes in 7:54 by pinfall with an awesome bomb. Remember, Mike Awesome is playing the badass babyface right now. Crowd's really getting behind him. Dustin Rhodes is playing just a disgruntled veteran heel right now, kind of a douchebag type heel. Mike Awesome got a 47. Dustin Rhodes came in with a 60. They do have great chemistry, so there could be something here later on down the line. 55 rating. This match got the crowd hotter, and Mike Awesome advances to Elite 8 of the United States Championship tournament. So big moves there. I'm actually really happy with this. This is way better than I expected. Backstage, member of Big Bang, Shane Douglas and Bam Bam Bigelow united, and they attacked Rob Van Dam and Tommy Dreamer. So they come down to the ring, and they say that the reason we attacked RVD and Tommy Dreamer, these extremists got money because of us. I, Shane Douglas, threw down the NWA Championship. Bam Bam Bigelow literally was the best big man in professional wrestling while in ECW. And then these two guys, Rob Van Dam and Tommy Dreamer, just walk into WCW, and we weren't just going to let that happen. So we took matters into our own hands and laid them out to make sure this will not happen here in WCW. ECW is a different thing. This is not going to happen here. Got the 51. It did lose a little heat, but that's okay. It got such good ratings on the pay-per-view, so we got a little feud brewing here between Shane, Bam Bam, Dreamer, and RVD, though. Some good stuff. So, also a U.S. title tournament, first round matchup, and about that decent reaction, but terrible wrestling. Tommy Dreamer defeats Bam Bam Bigelow in 7:18 when Bam Bam Bigelow was counted out after being attacked by RVD. So RVD came down to the ring and laid out Bam Bam Bigelow with a chair, a Van Daminator. This is the first round. Tommy Dreamer and Bam Bam both got a 42. Not a great match here, but the story continues. And sometimes that's okay. The match does not have to be perfect to get the story across, and that's exactly what this did. But it also got Tommy Dreamer into the Elite 8. So this is fine. All this is good. Intertwines everything what I'm trying to do with this story arc. So good stuff. All right, Booker T is coming back soon. We get a little video clip of Booker. We don't know when exactly he'll be back, but he's coming back. He wants to make sure everybody knows that he's coming. So we'll see what happens there. Hopefully we get Booker back sooner rather than later. But who knows? He might show up whenever you least expect it. 64 rating there. That's fine. Ric Flair walks into Eric Bischoff's office. Now, if you remember at the end of 2001, Ric Flair was the heel commissioner of WCW. So he walks in and says, Eric, you and I, we don't like each other. Let's not kid around. I'm not going to try to fight with you for authority. The Nature Boy Ric Flair is a 16-time world champion. I don't belong behind a desk. The Nature Boy Ric Flair is back. I no longer want to be authority. I want to be a professional wrestler. So I am now activating myself as an active participant of the WCW roster. So deal with that as you may, Eric. You may have just entered the worst situation of your life. 74 rating. So Ric Flair is back on the active roster. He is a babyface, so we'll see kind of where that happens. Let's see what happens there. Great rating because these two guys are both money on the microphone. So good stuff there. And about that decent wrestling, but little heat. Now I knew this one was going to happen. Little Guido and Super Crazy. First round of the Cruiserweight title. Little Guido defeats Super Crazy in 6:32 with Aruva Darcy. Little Guido advances to the Elite 8. These guys both had great ratings of 50 and a 57. Unfortunately, they're not over, so this was just kind of thrown onto the show. But I had to get this tournament in. I'd rather have these guys featured, and hopefully we'll get some popularity on these guys so that way they can flourish in the Cruiserweight division. So 39. Ignore the rating. This is to do the job of what they're supposed to with the tournament. Backstage, we get Totally Buff. Buff Bagwell and Lex Luger cutting a promo. Buff is talking about how Lex Luger arguably the greatest thing to come to WCW. He's going to beat that old has-been Kevin Nash in the main event tonight, and he's going to make an impact just like he did in the 1995 Nitro. That we are going to lead WCW as the best pair in WCW history. So Buff and Lex backstage, 65 solid backstage promo, does the job, gets hyped to the main event. So I'll take that. Diamond Dallas Page cuts a promo, talks about how, look, WCW, I was a loyal blood to the end, and now we're back. You know what? I want to be the guy that helps bring WCW back from the ashes. I'm the People's Champion, and it's time for the People's Champion to get some gold. Bang. So, 68 promo from Diamond Dallas Page, so good stuff there. And in a first-round matchup of the United States Championship, and a decent bout, a decent reaction, Diamond Dallas Page defeats Sean Stasiak in 8:23 with a diamond cutter. So Diamond Dallas Page advances to the Elite 8 of the U.S. title tournament. So good stuff there. Stasiak, nothing for him, more or less a jobber, but does the job here for Page, gets Page over. Page gives us a 51 and advances. So good stuff there. And we get a tag team match. So in about that had decent reaction from the crowd with subpar wrestling. Sean O'Haire and Chuck Palumbo defeat the Kings of Old School, so Rick Steiner and Animal are now a tag team. When Chuck Palumbo pinned Riddler and Animal after using a foreign object, so O'Haire and Palumbo are still doing that heel, natural born thrillers gimmick. Kings of Old School are the babyface. Two legendary teams come together. Just a tag team match to feature both teams. Really want to get our tag division off and running too, but we're not going to do a tournament for that. Palumbo with a 49, O'Haire 46, Animal 44, and Steiner 56. Solid stuff. No story behind it, unfortunately, but they did have to cheat to beat them, so we did get a 45 rating there. We cut backstage to the Filthy Animals, Rey Mysterio and Konnan, talking about the U.S. title tournament, and that, both guys are in it, and that they want to try to, if it has to come down to it, bygones be bygones, legend versus legend. The U.S. Championship will be coming to the Filthy Animals, and it'll be coming to Mexico. 53 rating. Good job, Konnan. And in a poor match, Psychosis defeats Jamie Noble in 7:54 by pinfall with a guillotine leg drop. So Psychosis is here in WCW. So you can see there's a lot of new guys to the roster. Noble got us a 50, Psychosis got us a 40. He was a little off. That's okay. But he advances the Elite 8 of the Cruiserweight Championship tournament. Only a 43. I think I'd get more of these guys if Psychosis wasn't off his game, but I'll take it. I'll take that. It's a solid performance. Jeff Jarrett cuts an in-ring promo talking about, how great he is. No one in WCW can touch him. He's Double J. There's a reason he is the show, the franchise of the company. He's arguably, to himself, the best there is, the best there was. More or less mocking Bret Hart's speech there. But he gets cut off when the lights go out. Oh, no, he doesn't. I thought we had the lights go out. Okay, he doesn't here. I'm sorry. As you remember, the pay-per-view, Jeff Jarrett was cut off by Sting. I thought I had Sting showing up here, but I made a mistake, so I have to ignore that. But in a good match on the U.S. Championship tournament, Jeff Jarrett defeats Rey Mysterio in 12:53 by pinfall after hitting him with a foreign object. Jeff Jarrett got only a 55, but Mysterio got an 80. 63 rating, just great stuff out of these two. Jeff Jarrett does advance to the Elite 8. Good stuff here for both guys. That's all I can say. Great solid TV match. And in our main event, and about that great heat, decent wrestling, Kevin Nash defeats Lex Luger in 7:40 by pinfall with a jackknife powerbomb. Nash is 63, Luger 47. Match suffered because there wasn't a lot of selling. Two guys who are not great workers, but I thought it would make it work. 56 rating, not terrible. Gets the job done. Nash gets the win over Luger. Post-match, Scott Steiner comes down on stage, and him and Nash have a stare down as Steiner holds up the World Championship belt to end the show, and that gets us a 67 rating. Let's see here. We lost popularity in 2 regions, only got 54, gained in 30. and we got to figure out the British and Canadian region. We'll figure that out, and the storylines will get better. But good stuff overall. Solid first Nitro back.